Hi, it's Susie, the host of the show on YouTube, Nail Career Education. I'm so excited. I'm here with Nails Magazine doing a cover, my very first cover. So I chose this design because I really wanted to be, well, it's May, so I wanted to be kind of colorful and flowers. So I put the forms on, and I do put down a thin layer first of the acrylic of the colors I'm looking for. It acts as a foundation for the flowers. So then I can lay the flowers and the caviar beads right on top of that. So when I lay the colors down, I really am choosing those colors specifically for each finger. And I've really thought that out actually because I wanted to get like a spectrum of colors on the hand. So when I lay each one down, let's say for the purple one, for example, I put down like kind of a light purple and a light pinkish. And I want to get the contrast. So when I lay the flowers down, as you can see, they're a deeper purple flower. So it has a great contrast with the color from underneath. Then when I lay the caviar beads, I can put them on the lighter colors so you can really see the caviar beads, so it really stands out nice. I really like that effect that it causes. The flowers you can see, sometimes when I'm laying them down, they have a tendency of wanting to flip up their little petals there, so you kind of have to saturate it with liquid a bit. Sometimes they can be a little stubborn. As the nail comes out, you can see the stiletto shape. It curves even more and more as it becomes more pointy. So sometimes I'll take a little bead of acrylic and place it on where I'm going to put the flower. And then I will even, to speed it up, because I'm impatient. Anybody who watches my YouTube channel, you'll know I'm impatient sometimes. And I will blow on the acrylic to kind of help it dry a little bit faster to get those petals to stick down. I don't want those petals sticking up when I put my clear capping on, because when you file it and you're trying to make it as thin as you want it to be in its structure, those little puddles will pop right up, and you don't want that. So you do want your petals to stick right down. Caviar beads, they can be kind of thick too. Those are kind of small beads that I found. I don't know if there's smaller ones out there, and I hope one day to find them, but you have to make sure that you're saturating your little beads inside there, encased in that acrylic that's going over top. So I tend not to put caviar beads too much across the cuticle area or on the sides too far back to the cuticle, because that's more of a thinner structure part where you want the nail. But as you're getting much more up into the arch of that nail, then you can get a little bit more caviar beads in there and a little more depth with the flowers and stuff, because you're going to be really a strong clear cap in there. So Kim, the senior editor for Nails, she noticed that I put the tip on first when I'm putting the application of the acrylic down. And sometimes you just do things subconsciously. You don't really know why. So when Kim mentioned that, it made me think, why do I do it? And the reason why I think I do it is because it gives me a judgment of distant. I'm sort of placing my end point down so I know where I can build to. So I know in the section between the free edge and that tip, I've got all that space in there to create what I need to create. Because if I get carried away, I might just end up not even getting my dark tip down. And I did want to do a dark tip on there. I think just really to make a point that there is a tip here. And I really wanted to impress the point visually that I have a nice fine tip right on the point of that stiletto to really bring that message home that this is a pointy, potentially harmful stiletto. So when I did the accent finger, I chose that for the ring finger. I decided to go with the yellow because it's the brightest color, and I wanted the brightest color to be more of the focal point, sort of an art thing. You just get drawn to a brighter color. So I decided to make that the accent finger. And I got a gold, and that stuff lays down like an antique gold. Now, I did quite a French on that, but then I got so carried away with the beads and the flowers, I actually covered up some of the French design that's in there. But I really wanted to bring out that kind of an antique. That gold actually matches beautifully with those gold caviar antique-looking beads. So capping is crucially important because you want to, obviously you can't file over top of all this stuff. It's your creation. And you want to cap it to be able to cause that glass finish so we can look into the design and see the depth. Clear capping is super important because if we don't do it thick enough, by the time we file and shape, we could file right into our design. So the design underneath must be quite thin, and the clear capping should be most of your thickness. That is such an important step. And when you're clear capping, just for note if anybody's doing this, make sure that when you put that bead down, get it down pretty good and start shaping right away, because if it goes down too dry, you could bring the clear over top of itself in a dry patch, and it can cause a white kind of looking line, and it looks horrible in your design. So just make note of that. It's an easy trick to flub up on. We all make mistakes. And that's why I know how we don't want to do it, because I've made that mistake several times. That's how we learn. So, of course, filing, as I find when I'm filing the stilettos, by the time I get to the pinky, my hands are a little tired and I don't make it quite as pointed. And once I'm finished, I can see all the mistakes that I have made. But I think as a professional sometimes, or maybe even a bit of a perfectionist in this situation, I never feel like I'm made it perfect, and I just have to let it go. So I filed it nice and smooth. Then I put a lot of cuticle oil on her so that when she washes her hands, that the cuticle oil gets in everywhere and gets rid of all the dust underneath and everything, because photography will pick all that up. And then she just washed her hands and dried them beautifully, and then we top coated them with a beautiful UV protector, clear capping top coat. And then when it came to the accent nail, I was originally, I will be honest, I was going to draw calligraphy, white calligraphy surrounding every flower and every finger. But once we did the white calligraphy on that flower, we all kind of felt that was subtle, beautiful, captivating, and that was enough. I think it looks pretty good. I think I like it. Well, I have to say, this was an absolutely incredible experience. I've been in this business for 30 years, and I've been reading Nails magazine my entire nail career. And to get the opportunity to be able to do the nails cover, I got to tell you, I am still, after even I've done the job, and it's been about 9 hours, and we're kind of tired, I am bouncing off the walls. This was a great experience, and I have to thank Nails magazine for inviting me in and being so welcoming, just like family. It's a big nail family here, which is quite lovely. And the photographers, right down to everybody that helped me, just a great team. I can't say enough about you guys. You guys are so sweet. And what a model they gave me. She's just adorable. Her hands are so adorable. So in conclusion, I think we're going to be able to actually do some footage ourselves, and we'll collaborate with Nails magazine. And again, I can't tell you how excited I am. And we'll be able to do some more things on my YouTube channel, and they can check out Nail Career Education if you're so inclined, and see lots more demos. And I hope to see you guys again.